Where do you want to go?
China.
When Marco Polo first came to China, he was astounded, and he is quoted for saying, "I did not believe them when they told me of the city of Kambaluk, or Beijing. Nor can any pen describe it, nor any tongue tell it, nor can it be imagined except by those who have seen it." China is obviously one of the world's most renowned countries, and it has made some of the biggest impacts in human history. There is no simple way to quickly summarize this place, but I'm gonna try to at least scratch the surface. Let's have a geography talk. So, as you guys know, I do administrative division videos. The last one we did was the regions of Italy, and I like to switch up the continents. And this is one of the most heavily requested administrative division videos that I get. But I was saving it because I wanted to make it at the right time. And I figured this was probably the right time to make it because about 2 times a year, I take my mom out on a mother-son trip. We usually go somewhere international. And this time I asked my mom where she would like to go. And it kind of went something like this. Where do you want to go?
China.
So when my mom said China, I asked my subscribers, what do you recommend we check out? You guys suggested we go to Sichuan and Yunnan. So that's where we're going! And with that in mind, it kind of inspired me to make this video covering the 22 provinces of China. Now keep in mind, there's more to China than just 22 provinces. Like many other nations, China subdivides itself in all these different types of layers of administrative units. And China has 4 first-level subdivisions. You have the 22 provinces of China, then you have 5 autonomous regions, then you have the 4 municipalities, and then they have 2 special administrative regions. These are Hong Kong and Macau. It's complicated.
本期视频由淘宝穿搭频道独家赞助播出。天气变凉后，我入手了不少新衣服，日常通勤穿搭都能完美搭配。比如这件宋正恩打底衫，幽灵设计修饰颈线，通勤风格简约时尚。花田橱窗 Hot Me 针织衫，宽松版型，舒适自在，经典时尚日常通勤。素色左岸开衫上衣，精致刺绣，时尚潮流仿风设计更实用。奶兔星球自制连帽卫衣，直筒版型，修身显瘦，时尚百搭风格，简约日常。这些都是我在淘宝穿搭里一件件挑出来的。现在购买秋冬上新款还有活动，双11期间上淘宝穿搭天天抽9折，最高可再减200块，还可以叠加大促期间任意优惠使用哦。别官方立减，消费券后很多款可以做到最低价，赶紧打开淘宝首页，在闪购附近就能看到哦。进入淘宝穿搭页面领取折上9折券，或者现在点击下方的入口或者评论区蓝色置顶链接都能直接进入频道，有机会获得优惠券和最高立减200元机会。心动不如行动吧，赶快去评论区看看吧。
In this video, I'm just going to cover the 22 provinces. Why? Because these videos take a long time to research and write and edit and then upload, and it's like, it takes too long. I don't have the mental fortitude to do 31 or 32, depending on how you look at it, administrative units. I'm just going to have to cut it down to 22, okay? Maybe in a future video, I'll do the rest, but right now, just the 22 provinces, okay? Cool. So in that case, let's break it down and jump into the first one. First one, Anhui, capital, Hefei. By the way, I'm going to try my best with the Chinese tonal intonation. I'm probably gonna all of them up. I'm sorry if I do. I don't speak Chinese, but I'm trying my best, okay? Anyway, known as the Yellow Mountain Province. Basically, this place is famous for the Hui culture, as it is in the name, Anhui. Hui people historically were known as like the merchants of China. They have a huge, heavy merchant culture. Also known for their Hui architecture, which I believe has white walls and black tiles, stuff like that. Some top sites include places like Hongkun and Shidi ancient villages, Tunxi Old Street, Mount Jiuhua. By the way, a lot of the scenes in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon were filmed here. Oh my gosh, it's beautiful, like, traditional scenery and the bamboos and all that. Dude, my favorite scene in the whole movie was the bamboo fighting scene where they climb. Everybody loves that scene. And Hui cuisine is considered one of the 8 Chinese cuisines. Food here is very respected. Famous for their Huangshan Mofeng tea and hairy tofu. Basically, this place really played a huge role in shaping the commercial industry of China. Next one, Fujian, capital Fuzhou. This is known as the land of overseas Chinese because a lot of people here kind of emigrate to other countries. Mostly the Hokkien and Min peoples. They have their own language / dialects, and a lot of them abroad also bring Hokkien culture. Like you can find a lot of them in like Southeast Asia. I know there's a lot in like the Philippines. One thing you probably may know about this place are the Tulo houses, those big circular clay earthen buildings. They're actually a UNESCO site, and they feature those buildings in like a lot of Chinese movies. They were built that way to like resist bandits. Some of them can even hold like over 300 people, and people still live in them. In addition, they also have the Gulangyu Islands, Wuyi Mountain, Chuanzhou Historic Port, and Fujian cuisine is very notable. They have a Buddha jumps over the wall, oyster omelets, Wuyi rock tea. It's like if you want to see Hokkien / Min culture, you come here. Next one, Gansu, capital Lanzhou. This was the gateway to the Silk Road's Hexi corridor, or the most important trade route in northwestern China. This is where, like, you could branch off and go in multiple directions. It was where the caravan of camels would go across the Silk Road further to the west. This is a dry, arid province, but there's a lot of crazy hidden secrets within these deserts, such as the Mogao Caves. It's a UNESCO site. The Jiayuguan Pass, which is basically the end of the Great Wall. Zhangye Danxia landforms. It looks freaking amazing, like multiple colored rocks. It's also the place where China had their first space launch site. They eat a lot of lamb and mutton here. They have hand-pulled noodles. Basically, this was the crossroads where China met with Central Asia, and it was a place of lots of cultural exchange between the two regions. Next one, Guangdong, capital Guangzhou. This is the big powerhouse of China. It is the most populous, with over 130 million, pretty much the entire population of Mexico in this one little province. Well, actually, it's not little, it's huge, but yeah. This is the heartland of the Cantonese people, and it's also the heartland of modern trade and manufacturing. Like, you know those little tags on your products that say made in China? 9 times out of 10, it's probably from this province. Like, this one province alone produces like 10% of the world's products. And of course, that being said, obviously, Cantonese culture is the dominant prevailing culture here. Cantonese is a completely unintelligible language from Mandarin, but it's the prevailing language in this area and also in Hong Kong and Macau. Guangzhou Canton Tower, the Chen Clan Academy, Shenzhen. Oh, and it's also home of Ip Man. Did you watch those Ip Man movies? They're pretty good. And Sun Yat-sen. Cantonese food is world-renowned. You've probably heard of a lot of their dishes like dim sum, Cantonese goose or duck, char siu barbecue pork. Cantonese heartland, Cantonese culture, huge manufacturing and industrial and logistics and shipping part of China. There you go. Next one, Guizhou, capital Guiyang. This one's like Yunnan's little brother. So China has 56 recognized minority peoples within the country. The vast majority of them are Han Chinese. They make up like 90% of the population. And within the remaining 10%, they have all the other 55 other ethnic groups. And Guizhou is the second most ethnically diverse province in China. They have 17 recognized minority groups. The largest ones being the Miao and the Dong peoples. They say they have more ethnic festivals here than there are days of the year. Like even some days they have like multiple festivals going on at the same time. It's crazy. Some of them include things like the Miao New Year's Festival, the Sisters Meal Festival, the Lusheng Dance Festival. There's so many festivals here. Some top sites include the Huangguoshu Waterfall, Kaili, and Xijiang ethnic villages. And in Qinglong, they have really cool karst scenery with like rock formations. And they make motai, which is probably one of China's most famous liquors. They use it at like state banquets. And yeah, it's just a very cool, diverse province where you can see a lot of tradition from these peoples. Next one, Hainan, capital Haikou. This is China's Hawaii. It's the island province. And it's the only truly tropical region of China with an actual tropical coral reef. The island also has a volcanic crater. It's the least populous out of all the provinces, only 10 million people. Famous for its amazing beaches, resorts, rainforests. The whole island is not only a free trade zone, but they also have China's only free trade port. So there's a lot of business in this area going on. Culturally, it's kind of like a mix between Han and Li, the Li people. They're known for making really good dragon quilts, and Hainan cuisine is also very well renowned. They're known for Hainan chicken rice, which I believe also plays into Singapore's chicken rice. I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong. And they use a lot of tropical fruits and coconuts in their cuisine as well. I mean, it grows on the island. But yeah, it's just it's China's tropical free trade zone port, Hawaii. Next one, Hebei, capital Shijiazhuang. Gosh, that's a hard one to say. Shijiazhuang. So this is basically like the fortress province that completely surrounds and guards the capital, Beijing, as well as Tianjin, two of some of the most important cities in all of China. So like historically, if you wanted to go to the capital promised land, you would have to pass through this province. And it's also kind of like where imperial royals would go to like chill and relax. Like they had the, what's it called? Chengde Mountain Resort, where the Qing Imperial Summer Palace was, and it's actually twice the size of Beijing's Forbidden City. Many important parts of the Great Wall are in this province. People say that the people in this province carry a brick in their pockets as a nod to the huge construction and steel industries. Many important military figures came from this province. Some top foods you find here are jianbing, which are like savory crepes, a lot of wheat-based staples. staples as opposed to rice. They like wheat up. The more north you go, the more wheat-based the food gets. Whereas in the south, it's more rice. So that's kind of how China works. Back in 1976, there was the Tangshan earthquake, one of the deadliest modern disasters. And basically, this whole province was like a very important military strategic frontier area because, it surrounded the capital. Next one, Heilongjiang, capital Harbin. It's actually 3 syllables, Harbin. It looks like it's 2, Harbin, but it's Anyway, this is China's northernmost province, the cold one. It's like the ice kingdom. They even have like a huge ice festival in the wintertime. This is the province that my grandma would tell me about, my Korean grandma. So back in the early 20th century, this whole area, along with other parts of China, used to be occupied and colonized by the Japanese. And my grandma was transferred from Korea to go to high school in Harbin. She told me all about this place. There used to be a ton of Russians that used to live in Harbin. And then after World War II, most of them were deported back to the Soviet Union. But like you still see the hints and evidence of the former Soviet Russian influence in this city. Like you see St. Sophia's Cathedral. You see like a lot of like Russian pastry bakery shops here. And it's just crazy. Like my grandma told me about this place. I'm curious about it. One day I want to go there. I know I'm going to Sichuan and Yunnan, but I want to see this place. I'm curious. The culture out here is called Dongbei. It's like the northeastern culture of China. A lot of hearty cuisine out here. They love their sausage and dumplings and stews. It's the cold, icy kingdom of China. Next one, Henan, capital Zhengzhou. This is the ancient cradle of Chinese civilization. All 3 of the first Chinese dynasties all started here. The Xia, Shang, and Zhou. Some of the oldest sites in all of China are found here, such as the site of the Oracle Bones, which has some of the oldest Chinese writing. We have the Luoyang Grottos with over 100,000 Buddha statues. And also, it's the home of Shaolin Kung Fu, with the most famous Shaolin temples. Basically, it's the epicenter and core of Chinese history. Like, you want to see where everything begins? You come here. Next one, Hubei, capital Wuhan. You know about Wuhan. I'm not going to get into it. Yeah, the viral institute, blah, blah, blah. But aside from that, Hubei's nickname is the land of 1,000 lakes, because if you look at the area, there's a lot of lakes. And they're a major inland river trading hub. They are on the Yangtze River. They're famous for Yellow Crane Tower, which is one of the 3 great towers of the south. It was written about by poets in the Tang Dynasty. The famous 3 Gorges Dam is here, the world's largest dam and power station. Lots of Taoist sites in the Wudang Mountains. Jingzhou ancient city looks awesome. And many modern scientists and writers come from this province. Wuhan was also a hotbed of the 1911 revolution uprisings, which pretty much led to the end of imperial rule in China. So that's another thing this place is famous for. Just like in general, there's a lot of river culture and education culture out here. Next one, Hunan, capital Changsha. So if Hubei was the land of 1,000 lakes, this place is like the land of 1,000 rivers. Because this is where Dongting Lake is, and from there, it spider webs into all the freaking rivers that go everywhere else. A major river transport hub, this place. Famous for the, what's it called? Zhangjiajie eroded karst limestone area. It's the thing that basically inspired the Hallelujah Mountains in the movie Avatar. And Yueyang Tower, which is another one of the 3 famous towers of the south. Mao Zedong was from this province. And this place is famous for the Xiang culture, which has robust music and opera traditions. Birthplace to a lot of revolutionaries and a lot of river culture out here as well. Next one, Jiangsu, capital Nanjing. This is the wealthy eastern province. A lot of business and trade happens here. It basically borders Shanghai, and if you know Shanghai, that place is busy. Nanjing was actually the capital of various dynastic powers like the West and Eastern Jin and Southern dynasties. Nanjing was a very important place. It's also the home of the mausoleum of Sun Yat-sen. There's also a lot of Ming Dynasty tombs here. The Suzhou Classical Gardens are a UNESCO site. They also have Yangzhou Historical Canal City. But yeah, they have the Jiangnan culture, famous for their silk and porcelain crafts. Jiangnan people are also very famous for their gardens, hence the UNESCO site. They love gardening. There's also Jiangsu cuisine, famous for their fried rice and Yangcheng Lake hairy crab. It's an important political and cultural center to China. Next one, Jiangxi, capital Nanchang. This is basically the ceramic capital of China. They're very famous for their ceramics and pottery out here. They make it so well that sometimes they call it white jade. They also have the Tengwan Pavilion, which is the final of the 3 famous southern towers written in Tang Dynasty times in poetry. They also have the scenic mountain areas of Lushan. It's a UNESCO cultural landscape. Aside from pottery here, there's also a very famous opera style, Jiangxi Opera. And in the rural areas, they have, clans that they divide themselves up to, and they have these really cool ancestral shrines with clan trees that go back 700 years. Yeah, they take it very seriously. They love their braised pork and pickled vegetables. But if I could just summarize, their porcelain industry was so famous that it heavily influenced China's craft export sector for like centuries. Porcelain. Next one, Jilin, capital Changchun. This is like Heilongjiang's little sister that borders North Korea. They share the most sacred, revered, most culturally significant mountain in all of Korean culture, Baekdusan. But here in Chinese, they call it, Changbai Mountain. It's like a huge dormant volcano with a crater, and in the crater, there's a huge lake. They call it Heaven's Lake. And apparently, North Koreans say that their first leader, Kim Il-sung, was born here under a rainbow. I'll let you do whatever you want with that information. But anyway, so you can probably tell that there's a lot of Korean Chinese influence in this area. There's a lot of people here who actually speak Korean, and that kind of plays into the identity of this area. But there's also a lot of Dongbei, or like Northern Plains Chinese culture here as well. It's super north, so they have a lot of winter festivals here. They're also very famous for being heavy in the automotive industry. The capital is actually China's car making base. It's like Heilongjiang's little sister, who has a little bit more of a Korean influence, I guess you could say. Next one, Liaoning, capital Shenyang. So this is the industrial heartland of northeastern China, the Rust Belt, but it's also home to the Manchu people, or the Manchurian people. You've probably heard that word, Manchuria, probably from the movie The Manchurian Candidate, which had nothing to do with Manchuria. I mean, the original one in the 60s kind of did, but that's besides the point. Anyway, what is the significance of the Manchurian people? Well, way back yeehaw, they kind of pretty much took over China. They kind of overthrew the Ming Dynasty when there was a lot of infighting, and they created the Qing Dynasty, the last dynasty of China. And they actually don't even speak Mandarin. They spoke their own Manchurian language, Manchu, which is actually a Tungustic language. It's like more related to the Siberian, Turkic languages. But when you take over an entire imperial domain where 90% of the people speak one language, like you're gonna have to learn that language. So they kind of just like slowly adopted the Mandarin language and became Chinese, but they took over anyway. And that's why you see a lot of like imperial buildings out in this area. You have things like the Shenyang Imperial Palace or Mukden Palace. Benxi has some cool geological parks. Dailan, the coastal city, has some really cool beaches. But yeah, basically this is the area known for having the Manchu people that eventually crossed over the Great Wall and took over for the Qing Dynasty. Next one, Qinghai, capital Xining. This is the furthest west province until you reach the autonomous regions that go further west. Basically, this is kind of like where the Han Chinese culture world kind of starts meshing and blending in with the Tibetan Plateau people's world. You start to kind of see a lot more like pastoralists and semi-nomadic peoples that herd livestock. You start to see a lot of wild yaks and antelopes in this area. It's like dry, but it's also high altitude, so it's cold. Famous for Lake Qinghai, the largest lake in all of China. And this place is actually growing a lot in tourism in China. There are some places in this area that are very sparsely populated, but like the scenery is crazy and it looks amazing. They even have monasteries where they put both Buddha and Confucius together. It's like a weird syncretic like Confucianist Buddhist thing that they like kind of put together. Yeah, it starts to get more Tibetan out in these areas. So that's, I guess, how I would summarize it. Next one, Shanxi, capital Xi'an. You've probably heard of Xi'an, the terracotta soldiers, the clay soldiers that are all lined up in a row and blah, 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 all that stuff. That's this place, yes. Xi'an is one of the 4 main ancient capitals of China. It was a big deal, and it still is a big deal. Basically, Xi'an was considered the starting point of the Silk Road. So historically, a lot of stuff came in here and came out of here and was connected to everything continentally in Asia, pretty much. The seat of multiple ancient dynasties. What was it? The Zhou, the Qin, the Han, the Tang. And the Terracotta Army discovery, wasn't even known until, recently. They dug it up and they discovered it. It was crazy. It helped, the understanding of the Qin dynasty when they dug it up and discovered it. It was crazy. So many mysteries hidden throughout the lands. But yeah, other than that, they are also famous for their aerospace industry. A lot of, aircrafts are built here. Biang biang noodles and 肉夹馍 style sandwiches. Never even heard of that. Okay. And mirror cakes. Yeah, there's a lot of cuisine legacy here as well. They also have the ancient city walls, the Big Wild Goose Pagoda, Mount Hua. I mean, if you're not going to go to Beijing, you may as well go to Xi'an because it's like equally as fascinating of a city. Next one, Shandong, capital Jinan. This is basically the birthplace of Confucius, the city of, what's it called? Chufu. In that city, Chufu, you're going to see so many Confucius temples and monasteries and cemeteries and even the mansion. They're all UNESCO heritage sites. Like, this is the Confucius province. But it also has a strong maritime and agricultural backbone. They are coastal. Tsingtao beer, which was actually, founded by German brewers in 1903. Actually, it comes from here, okay? Yeah, but yeah, just like to summarize, Confucianism plays a huge major role in the culture of this area, which also permeated the rest of China, and it was very important. Next one, Shanxi, capital Taiyuan. So this was kind of like the historical finance hub of China back in the day. Like, the first Chinese banks actually came from here. Or what is it called? Piaohao. And they were the first people to have used a letter of credit system, which was centuries before it was even thought up of in Western countries. So like, yeah, they had like ancient Chinese credit card, not really card, but like letters. But there are also lots of cool ancient sites like the Pingyao Ancient Walled City. It's a UNESCO site. There's also the Yungang Grottos, Mount Wutai, which is like a Buddhist sacred mountain. They say the locals know how to make 108 different types of noodles here. Shangxi vinegar is highly prized. It's considered like some of the best vinegar in all of China, and usually people give it to each other as gifts. But yeah, it's just kind of known as like the historical mercantile and finance hub of China. Like, the people here, they handled money. Next one, Sichuan, capital Chengdu. You probably know this one colloquially as Sichuan. I'm going to this one. I am so super excited. I can't wait. And it's also the panda capital. They even have that huge panda breeding center. They have the world's largest panda population. So if you want to see pandas, you come here. Otherwise, like landscape-wise, they have a lot going on as well. Oh my goodness. They have like the Zhujiakou Valley Scenic Park. They have that Leshan giant Buddha, the one that's like carved in the entire mountainside of a small mountain. One of the coolest traditions here is the Sichuan opera. You've probably seen it. It's like they quickly change the masks in like milliseconds. It's like a magic trick. They just like quickly change the masks and the costumes. It's also like the spice capital. The spiciest foods come from this area. You got like mapo tofu, hot pot, kung pao chicken, dan dan noodles. They say that Sichuan people don't fear spicy food. They fear food that is not spicy. I can't wait to go here. Next one, Yunnan, capital Kunming. So like I said before, this is the most ethnically diverse province in all of China. Out of all the 56 recognized ethnic groups in China, this province has 25 of them. Almost half of all of them are in this province. Some of them include the Yi, the Hani, the Dai, the Naxi, the Lisu. Like the capital Kunming, they even have like an ethnic group presentation thing that they do all the time where you could see like all of them. This place is famous for tea. Some of the best tea in all of China is grown here, specifically Pu'er tea. It's also incredibly biodiverse here as well. The Three Parallel Rivers area has more biodiversity than anywhere else in China. Some say in all of Asia, some say in the entire world. It has everything. You can even find Asian elephants over here. This is basically the area that kind of like blends China into Southeast Asia. Like, it borders all three, like Myanmar, Laos, and Vietnam. So it's like these areas had always historically had some kind of connection to Southeast Asia, and the peoples migrated over time historically. Like, for example, Burmese people actually were descended from the peoples of the mountainous areas of the Yunnan province. Like, they migrated down. So it's like there's always been a Southeast Asian connection to this area. They have really cool sites like Dali, Lijiang, and Shangri-La, which changed their name from Zhongdian for tourism purposes, because Shangri-La, that's just the name of like a fictional place, but they changed it for tourism. And I'm gonna go there. I can't wait. Ugh. They have the stone forest of Xilin and the tropics of Xishuangbana. Yeah, it's just like this place has so much going on, both socially and like naturally. Next one, Zhejiang, capital Hangzhou. Basically, this place is kind of like Jiangsu. It's another very prosperous eastern coastal province. The tech and private enterprise sector is huge out here. They have the water towns of Wuzhen and Xitang. Ningbo port is super important here. They also have the world's largest tidal bore, the Silver Dragon. Basically, it's like a wave that races up on the Qitang River. You've probably seen videos of it. The wave just keeps going. And Hangzhou's West Lake is so famous. Like, it has inspired so many writings from Chinese poets. They say heaven above, Hangzhou below. And it's kind of like the hub where a lot of entrepreneurs came from, obviously, like Jack Ma. Alibaba originated in Hangzhou. But yeah, and a lot of ancient poets also came from here, such as Su Dongpo. It's basically the home of China's economic private sector boom and e-commerce revolution. So there you go. That was the basic surface level summary of all the 22 provinces of China. I know there's a lot of things I missed. Like, it's China. You can't easily summarize it in one video, okay? I tried my best to just get to the point. If there's anything I missed, if you wanted me to mention something but I didn't mention it, please write it in the comments, okay? Teach us. If you are Chinese, if you are from China, if you've lived in China and you know some stuff, let us know. Write it in the comments, okay? Anyway, hope you like Geography Now. Subscribe.
最后别忘了，双11期间上淘宝穿搭天天抽9折，最高可减200元，可以别大促期间任意优惠使用哦。别官方立减，消费券后很多款可以做到最低价。